Bible reading, chapter 13, book of Matthew, no commentary. On that day Jesus went out of the house and sat by the sea. Such large crowds gathered around him, and he got into a boat and sat down, and the whole crowd stood along the shore. Then he spoke to them at great lengths in parables, saying, A sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seeds fell onto the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky ground, and where it had little soil, it sprang up at once because the soil was not deep. Then the sun rose, and it was scorched, and it withered for lack of roots. Some seeds fell among the thorns, and the thorns ate it up and choked it. But some seeds fell on rich soil and produced fruit 100 or 60 fold, or 100 or 60 or 30 fold. Whoever has ears ought to hear. The disciples approached him and said, Why do you speak to them in parables? Then he said to them in reply, Because knowledge of the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven has been granted to you, but to them it has not been granted. To anyone who has more will be given, and he will grow rich. From anyone who has not, even what he has will be taken away. But this is why I speak to them in parables, because they look but do not see, and hear but do not listen or understand. Isaiah's prophecies fulfilled in them, which says, You shall indeed hear but not understand, you shall indeed look but never see. Gross is the heart of the people. They will hardly hear with their ears. They have closed their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and be converted, and I heal them. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. Amen, I say unto you, many prophets and righteous people longed to see what you did, but did not see. What you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Hear then the parable of the sower. The seed sown on the path is the one who hears the word of the kingdom, without understanding it, and the evil ones come to steal and steals it away, what has sown in his heart. The seed sown on rocky grounds is the one who hears the word, but receives it all at once with joy. But he has no root, and lasts only for a time. When some tribulation or persecution comes, because of the word, he immediately falls away. Then the seed sown among the thorns is the one who hears the word, but then worldly anxiety and lure of riches choke the word, and it bears no fruit. But the seed sown on rich soil is the one who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and yields 100 or 60 or 30 fold. He proposed another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven may be likened to a man who sold goods in his field. While everyone was asleep, his enemy came and sowed weeds all through the wheat and went off. When the crop grew and bore fruit, the weeds appeared as well. The slaves of the household came to him and said, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? Where have these weeds come from? He answered, An enemy has done this. The slave said to him, Do you want us to go and pull them up? He replied, No, if you pull the weeds, you might uproot the wheat along with them. Let them grow together into harvest, and at harvest time I will say to the harvesters, First collect the weeds and tie them in bundles for burning, but gather the wheat into my barn. He proposed another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that a person took and sowed in a field. It is the smallest of all seeds, yet when full grown it is the largest of plants. It becomes a large bush, and the birds of the sky come to dwell in its branches. Then he spoke to them in another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed 3 measures of wheat flour until the whole batch was leavened. Then these things Jesus spoke in parables. He spoke to them only in parables. All these things Jesus spoke to the crowds in parables. He spoke to them only in parables. To fulfill what has been said through the prophet, I will open my mouth in parables. I will announce what has laid hidden from the foundation of the world." Then he dismissed the crowds. He went into the house. His disciples approached him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field." Then he said in reply, "Those who sow good seeds is the Son of Man. In the field is the world. The field is the world, and the good seed the children of the kingdom. The weeds are the children of the evil one, and the enemy who sows them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are angels. Just as the weeds are collected and burned up in fire, so will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out of his kingdom all those who cause others to sin and all evildoers. They will throw them into the fiery furnace, where they will be wailing and the grinding of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Whoever has ears ought to hear. But the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure buried in a field, which a person finds and hides away, and out of joy goes and sells all that he has to buy that field. Again, the kingdom is like a merchant searching for fine pearls. When he finds a pearl of great price, he goes and sells at all he has and buys it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown into the sea, which collects fish of every kind. When it is full, they haul it to ashore and sit down to pull what is good into buckets. What is bad, they throw away. Thus it will be at the end of the age. The angels will go out and separate the wicked from the righteous, and throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth. Do you understand all these things? They answered, "Yes." And he replied, "Every scribe who has been instructed in the kingdom of heaven is like the head of a household who brings from the storeroom both new and old." When Jesus finished these parables, he went away from there. He came to his native place and taught the people in the synagogue. They were astonished and said, "Where did this man get such wisdom and mighty deeds? Is he not the carpenter's son? Is not his mother named Mary, and his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Are not his sisters all of us? Where did the man get all this?" Then they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his native place, in his own house." And he did not work many deeds there because of their lack of faith. Okay, chapter 13 or 14. Thank you for watching our show. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.